Hey everybody, welcome once again to another episode of the DarkMatch. As usual, I am No Leaf Clover, and with me tonight is...
The Arrow, once again, coming here.
I'm Christopher Says, also live and also here.
I am your foxy friend Backlash, also apparently alive last I checked.
I said I was live. I said it was live, live in Technicolor, NBC style.
Well, I said I was alive, so there you go.
And as always, it is time. Start tonight.
It is time for What is Iron Sheik tweeting now? I fucked the princess.
You sound like Wario.
Well, it does. It does sound like something Wario would say.
I'm Backlash. I fucked the princess.
Now you're putting way more throat into it than I did.
Oh God! At any rate, before this
double entendre.
Before this train wreck becomes any train wreck here, we are here to talk about the week in WWE programming with everything except Tough Enough, NXT, and Superstars, which our my friend already did. Yeah. We will be starting off and kicking off the show by talking about Monday Night Raw. I forget where it was live.
Which was a battle royal already in progress.
Right. That was a weird fucking start to Raw. It starts with... I don't remember the last time Raw started with, like, a match in progress.
I would figure that, like, Tough Enough, like, introduced the, like, while Tough Enough was about to end, they introduced the Battle Royal, but, like, yeah, that I missed.
Yeah, they usually have...
Nobody watches those anyways.
5 minutes before when they cut to, like, kind of a commercial break.
But on the plus side, let's just be glad they were opening with wrestling this week.
That is... They didn't talk. That's a good thing.
Yeah. They would do that a little bit later, but either way, like, I thought this was a kind of interesting Battle Royal because... For the very first time, we find that the bigger guys are eliminated first. Like, they don't have, like, such a mean presence, and it seems like all the rest of the people are smartening up because Kane's eliminated first, then Khali, then Kozlov, and then Slater, but nonetheless, then Masters and Barrett, and, like, it seems like, again, like, the more technical, the smaller guys are taking advantage. And these are, for the...
Yeah, I was about to say that we didn't mention that this is a battle royale to decide which brand would have the first pick of the 2011 WWE draft.
It's random.
And like I guess like beyond like, amid all the chaos, we see stuff like Daniel Bryan putting Big Show in a sleeper hold, like Evan Bourne, Mark Henry and Evan Bourne, like, double teaming people, stuff like that. The last standoff is pretty much between Bourne and Mason versus Kofi and Big Show. Kofi and Big Show eventually get the win, and they give SmackDown their first draft picks, which leads us to that.
The last guy on Raw was Mason Ryan, and he just sticks out like a sore thumb. You think you can try and hide him? You think you can try and hide him in something like a battle royal, but it just shows that he cannot wrestle at all.
Yeah. But anyways, we should get to the first draft pick, and lo and behold, it is John, no fucking way this is real, Cena.
We'll get to this later, cause...
Yeah, we'll get to the reality or lack thereof of this, and why it made this Raw worse than the SmackDown this week, among other things.
Did anyone buy this? The second they called out his name, did anyone believe for a second he was on his way to SmackDown?
Yeah, I did, because they're floating around, like, about just the WWE wanting to move some of their bigger stars over to SmackDown, and I was like, wow, this is something I would love to see. I know he's been on there before, and
that was early in his career, though, but I also did hear rumors, like, around 3 months ago or something like that they were trying to make SmackDown the A show, and that kind of seemed like it was going to happen for a while, but then it really toned back down to sucking. And, moving Cena to SmackDown was kind of believable for a moment or so, but then they moved Orton over.
Well, we'll get to the
and
draft
just
pick.
kind of lost it, just like, I know, but Orton did not want to put the shirt on.
Well, yeah.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, we get back and Todd Grisham is talking to John Cena about his reaction, and he says like Sci-Fi is very happy that they're gonna get a lot richer because of this, and he's going there. He basically one of those rambly Cena promos where instead of starting off quiet, he starts off yelling. Miz comes in to interrupt him and says like, after Sunday on Raw, I can't see you. People are getting a lot of mileage out of that. Barrett did it, CM Punk did it, now Miz is doing it.
Yeah, it's quiet. It's getting, that's kind of getting old, but I like how you pointed out that John Cena essentially has two promos now. It's the promo where he starts off loud and then gets quiet, and the promo where he starts off quiet and then gets loud. That's John Cena's repertoire in a nutshell.
Well, there's also the 5 moves of doom.
Well, I was talking about promo ride, but what else?
Yeah. So anyways, next it's time for what I thought was the moment of the night. It's time for R-Truth and his new gimmick that he is insane.
Please elaborate for us.
Basically, he comes out and he actually really starts playing off the crowd, and you don't really see a lot of guys doing that. Not in this day and age, anyways.
They don't encourage it.
Basically, comes out and you think he's going to do his whole "what's up" thing, but instead he shouts, "Shut up!" and goes on about saying like how acting like a nice guy and a dancing fool, singing and rapping all the time hasn't gotten him any WWE titles. So now he's out for himself. All the while just shouting at the crowd, and of course bringing up what was it, Little Jimmy?
Yeah, Little Jimmy.
Yeah.
Yes, he has an imaginary child. Has an imaginary child named Little Jimmy. He's like, "Oh, Little Jimmy, you like our truth? You like shouting, 'What's up?' Well, you ain't putting any belts around my waist."
As goofy and as silly as this promo was, it was arguably the most effective heel promo there has been. This was a perfect promo to turn someone heel.
Especially someone like R-Truth too, because like the dude was over.
Especially for a guy that I absolutely could not stand. I hated R-Truth. Passionately. And now I'm almost borderline liking him. I think I have moved into that territory where R-Truth is like acceptable to like. And it's not just because he's a heel, it's just because he's not doing any stupid shit.
Yeah, I mean, he even brought it up like that he was doing what you guys wanted me to, what the fans wanted me to, and it got me nowhere. Funnily enough, like Jenga said, hey, they're actually letting R-Truth, Ron Killings, be himself.
Yeah, I mean, Jingus has been one of the biggest, like, guys who's like, this guy, he doesn't suck. And I never thought that R-Truth sucked. I just thought that in the role he had, he was kind of like, he just never really did anything. He was kind of like, he was kind of in this perpetual state of staleness, where he never really, he cut the same promo and over, when they gave him time on the microphone, he performed adequately, and he was sort of good, but they never, like, gave him anything to work with, and this was them finally being like, hey, here, take this, we're gonna give you something, I'll run with it, and he ran with it very well.
I mean, yeah, I agree, and, like, his trite gimmick and the way he'd always play it out the exact same way every week kind of overshadowed the fact that he has always been a good in-ring worker. Very entertaining and fluid one.
I just like the fact that he seems to be having a lot of fun with this new gimmick. Like, I watched him out on the stage and I just like, this guy's just having fun with this, isn't he? And it's when you get into that kind of area, it's like, well, you're going to do something interesting with this, are you? So I'm intrigued. I want to see where this goes.
I want to see more R-Truth.
Yeah.
I never thought I would say that, but I want to see more R-Truth. And the thing is, obviously we know John Morrison wasn't going to win at Extreme Rules in the cage match, and he was just going to be used for spots, but now it's even more evident now that he's feuding with R-Truth. Actually,
though, moving on from that, the R-Truth promo also produced something that I didn't quite like. Before he says peace out, deuces, and then Morrison runs in and like kicks the shit out of him, like attacks him like insulted his mother and kicked his butt.
If I may, just stuff an old favorite. He hit him with parkour rage.
John Morrison with a move that's never been done before.
But it's like one wonders, why did he do that? He has a shot, like beyond revenge for the
that's how Vince wants it.
No, it's because, like you said, he wanted revenge for what happened. You know, it made sense to me.
He gave him lung cancer.
I mean, I think it would make him, honestly, like, a more ideal face. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it would make him a more ideal face if I said, like, I can understand what R-Truth did. Like, he was certainly angry, but it doesn't matter to me. I have my shot. Like, I have other things to worry about.
Well, that's not... I'm not sure if I agree with it from that standpoint, because I understand why he would come out and be like, he just got his ass kicked by the guy he thought was in storyline terms, the guy he thought was one of his best friends. I can totally...
I think they are friends, though. Well, actually, I don't think anyone wants to be Jomo's friend after the whole Molina incident. But...
Well, yeah, but besides that, look, for storyline purposes,
right, exactly, yeah, I know. Truth and wisdom, bro. Truth and wisdom.
Yeah, and it's like, dude, you turn your back on me, you beat the fuck out of me, you blew smoke in my face, you're a total dick.
Well, John Morrison was more of a dick by trying to take away his title shot.
I mean, true, I might be looking at that in the sense that, like, I'm taking into account that John Morrison essentially manipulated R-Truth into giving him the shot, so...
Yeah. Terribly.
So,
I mean,
again, any
R-Truth?
reaction from him pretty much, like, taking that under his nose is like, I understand that R-Truth is angry, but... fair enough perspective.
Yeah, I understand.
We go from there to probably the final promo for Awesome Kong, and they reveal her confirmed name as Karma with an H after the K, and I'm ashamed of myself I didn't realize this, but yeah, it emphasizes the word harm in the middle of it. And we got to see her face, actually, that too, yeah.
Yeah, we also got to see some cleavage.
I'm not sure if I
You really want to see that cleavage, though?
I've already seen a wardrobe malfunction from the TNA pay-per-view. I don't need this.
Oh, really?
There's a wardrobe malfunction from Kong?
Yeah, her skirt flies up and it goes over her head when she gets tossed out of the ropes, and you can see a titty.
Huh.
Yeah.
Was it a knife?
Anyway!
There's an animated GIF of it, so...
Anyways,
No, wait. Was it a nice titty?
No!
Oh.
It's Awesome Kong.
That sucks.
Anyways, moving on from that. Our next match, Eve Torres versus Layla. And the crowd goes... Huh? What? Oh, there's a Divas match.
Like, Superstars, though. If this was Superstars, they had a really good Superstars main event. But this is Superstars.
I'd really be behind that sentiment if it wasn't for the fact that it was the upper management's fault for not giving them the chance to shine in promos or matches. Because this match, once again, ends with Michael Cole interrupting it and putting himself over, as opposed to it.
The Divas division.
And what happens in the ring isn't much better, because all it is Layla getting distracted by Michelle McCool and
there's a roll up. One of the 5 roll-up variations every WWE superstar and or diva has to learn.
But after it, okay, go on.
I'm not gonna bitch about Cole tonight. I'm losing my energy for bitching about him, but I have to point out that if you want your Divas division to look quasi-serious, it's not a good idea to have Michael Cole interrupt the match every fucking time. And that's all I'm going to say about Cole for now. And there's a Cole segment coming up soon, and I understand that, but I just I don't know what they want with Cole.
The bench for that.
I don't know what they want.
I really have no problem with him burying the Divas division. I mean, I don't really care about it that much. I mean, I guess if Kong comes in and makes it, I don't know how much they're going to do. I mean, really, they've got 4 people, including Kong. I mean, what do they have? They've got Natalya, they've got Beth Phoenix, and they've got Gail Kim.
Ed Molina, if she stops acting like a cunt.
She can't do that, so...
Yeah, well, arrow to that, I'll say...
Layla, good wrestler.
To that,
I do like Layla, but, I don't really take her seriously.
To that, I'll say this. I will gladly admit that the Divas division isn't where it needs to be, where it should be, or anything like that. My point is, it's your job as a wrestling company to present every division as serious, to present every division as a credible one. It's not you're not doing your job if you have one of your fucking talents go out there and bury it. We all know the fucking Divas division sucks. Do you have to have the guy go out there and basically say, no one came to see this?
But anyway, getting back to the fact that I enjoy Layla, she really gives this next segment her all by... After the match, she's kind of distressed, broken down. She takes Michelle McCool and, slams her into the barricade twice, slams her into the apron, and just throws her through the announce table.
I loved this segment, I'll be honest, because she throws her across the announce table, and then she just starts crying oh, no, I can't do this anymore. Just the way she was selling it was hilarious.
Yeah, she doesn't have a fake cry, but whatever.
Ugh. It's better than Kelly.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
The only reason why it came off badly was because they didn't focus on it in such a great linear way. The only way they teased the Lakewood breaking up the first time they did it was in Royal Rumble, where they were putting the Fatal 4-Way. And beyond that, they didn't do it until maybe a couple of weeks ago. Probably would have had a lot better impact if they had.
I don't know. I think it's been really guaranteed about a month ago.
Yeah,
I think that's when they really...
But then again, it's they didn't do this at WrestleMania. There was no, they didn't have a spat at WrestleMania.
It wasn't at WrestleMania.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they were. They were in the Snooki.
They were the match before the main event.
I forgot.
Well, no. Yeah, I didn't watch that match.
Well, just because you didn't watch it doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Yes, it does. I hate to break it to you. Match didn't happen. Snooki Mania? No. It was Steiner Mania.
It's a celebrity. There's always been a situation with celebrities.
No, I understand that. I'm not complaining about it.
But nonetheless, we get our next draft pick. It's Rey Mysterio going to Raw. Can't complain about that one. I've never had any problem with Rey, and depending on what position.
Problem with Rey.
I don't know. I'm kind of done with Rey Mysterio. I've seen everything he has to do.
I was over Rey Mysterio, and
he can't really. He can't work as well as he used to, he's not really. He's not completely broken down yet. So, I've completely lost my train of thought. I don't know. Mostly, I guess it's cool for Rey Mysterio to come to Raw because I think he might actually get more of the spotlight over there. But again, especially because they hired Sin Cara, which we'll get to later, I don't really see the point of keeping Mysterio in a top spot anymore.
Well, not in the top spot. He could hang around the mid card and work with the newer guys.
That's what he did with Cody.
Yeah.
I wonder how he feels about Sin Cara even coming up. I know Del Rio hated it, but Mysterio, he's looking right at his masked replacement.
Wait, Del Rio hated this? Expand.
Yeah, when he found out Mystico was signed, he was pissed off.
Allegedly.
Yeah, now we're also hearing that Del Rio is quite the political guy, and he very much is able to get himself high up. He's able to worm his way around backstage.
Yeah, he was... he's pretty much mastered the WWE political system faster than anyone else. But then again, if you look back at his, he's been in the business his entire life in Mexico, and apparently Mexican backstage politics make WWEs look like grade school shit.
Well, I don't really see why he should have much of a problem, considering they're not on the same show, so they're not really going to have any interaction.
Well, he didn't know that at the beginning.
We don't know about that yet. That's up to what happens on tomorrow night.
Well, Del Rio said he was going to take the title with him.
Oh.
To Raw. He said he was going to take the title, so I'm pretty sure that they're going to keep him on Raw. Plus,
yeah, he's going to stay on Raw.
Yeah, plus they said that they wanted to move him to Raw. It's been pretty much rumored that the draft was just a measure to get him over there.
Understood. And next we have a promo between Todd Grisham and Cody Rhodes, and quite lots of colorful language. Cody Rhodes basically says that he's going to give Ray a new mask, and the one that an anesthesiologist would put on someone as he's wheeling him into the surgery room.
I thought his promo, like, he's been doing really good doing the subtle thing, but I thought this promo was just kind of too hokey, you know?
You think too contrived, you mean?
Yeah, it was just a little bit too much.
I recently read an interview that Cody did with Marvel Comics, because, everyone knows Cody's a big nerd, and he used to wear the Triforce on his boots, but now he can't find a company that will make the boot with the Triforce on it. So he doesn't wear it anymore. Anyway, he said that he bases his character off a supervillain, kind of a mix of Doctor Doom and, I can't remember what it was, something like Mr. Sinister or something like that. And he was really excited that Ray came out as Captain America at WrestleMania.
I'm glad to hear that. At least he enjoyed it, because I don't think anyone else did.
I thought it was silly.
It was like,
yeah.
Oh, God. And then the thing is, it only made it worse once I saw Sheamus on Monday Night Raw sporting like Captain America shit, too. It's like, God, I mean, I get you're the U.S. champion, but, you're Irish, man. Come on. What happened to Laosh?
Speaking of Sheamus, next match we have is Kofi Kingston versus Sheamus. Non-title match. And
decent match, I'd say.
It was pretty short from what I remember.
It was short, but for what they did, it was pretty good. I think because they're probably going to have a rematch from what we've been setting up, and it's probably going to be a bit longer of a match. So I'll give this some time, see where it goes.
Well, and in terms of Extreme Rules, I wonder if they have a U.S. title match tomorrow, I wonder if Kofi's not going to take the title back to Raw, because he seems like the perennial mid-card champion. Like, if they want to, like, put a belt on, like, transitionally, like they put it on him, and then to get over a heel, they just kick his ass. Because Sheamus wasn't really doing much.
Well, there's really the question oh, sorry.
I was just saying they really killed Sheamus, and it's all Kevin Dunn's fault. I mean, we already know this, but, like, they made the King of the Ring a joke with that shit.
Yeah.
They just destroyed the King of the Ring.
With his shitty get-up, yeah.
Well, his get-up was terrible. We all know this. But like, the King of the Ring used to mean the guy was going to get a big push. And now, after this, it's just like, I'm going to, like, trick everyone into thinking you're going places, and then I'm going to bury you.
Well, the problem with giving him the King of the Ring in the first place over someone such as Jomo is that he's won the WWE title, their biggest main event title
twice
in the entire company, and twice, and they followed up with this, like, he didn't need to win the King of the Ring.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, I don't have a problem with if it's just a guy who has recently won.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
It should have been a thing that was, if they were gonna have him win the King of the Ring, it should have been a thing that, like, finally elevated him above, being like, okay, we know that we kind of put the belt on him too soon before, but now he's gonna be the next main event guy. Now he's ready for it. Instead, it seems like it was entirely a prop just to fucking bury him and to bury the concept. So Kevin Dunn never has to hear about King of the Ring anymore.
Yeah, but, I think we've all been over King of the Ring a million times before, but getting back to the mid-card titles, because there's also the question of the Intercontinental title, whether they might move that to Raw instead of the United States title, because really, what has Wade Barrett done with it? That's the big question.
He's had it as a trophy and, I guess, status indicator for his group, but really, it's not done much. It was much better around the waist of either Kingston or Ziggler or McIntyre, for that matter.
Yeah, it's just kind of there on Wade Barrett for him to have. I keep stealing Genghis' shit, but Fuck it, he's not here. They've been trying to get Wade Barrett over, and it's just not working. There's something about him that's not connecting with the crowd. I think he's a pretty good worker. Let me rephrase that. I think he'll get better with time, as far as being a wrestler goes. He has good mic skills. He just doesn't click for some reason, and that really hurts him in a lot of ways. It's a weird thing with how Barrett just fails consistently to get over, even though they keep trying to push him.
Well, you really can't say lack of trying. I'd like to think that he's been really kind of mishandled, what with hot-shotting him getting WWE title shots, like, right off the bat. Like, right when the Nexus could start going for titles, he had, 3 in a row? Was it? It's lack of build. It's what they've done with... It's what they did with Swagger, it's what they did with Sheamus, and it's what they did with Barrett.
Not to mention, since he was part of the Nexus, they never built him up as a credible singles threat. It was always, he's
goon. Yeah.
Wade Barrett wins, but he only wins because the Nexus comes out, or he only wins because, or he loses, but the Nexus comes out and beats someone up. It's like, when has Wade Barrett when has any heel ever got a clean win? But when has Wade Barrett in particular ever gotten, a win like that?
He did beat Chris Jericho clean once on Raw, if I remember.
Yeah,
the night after SummerSlam.
Well, see, that's because Jericho's one of the upper card people who has no problem with that, or who the office has no problem with jobbing out, which good enough anyway. I wish the program between him and Evan Bourne went farther, but anyway, we've kind of strayed.
Yeah, we're straying off
the general discussion.
The
general psychology. Oh, sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say I'd rather talk about this than fucking Jim Ross versus Mike Cole. So.
Well, just to get back to a general summary of the Kingston versus Sheamus match, the general idea was that Sheamus was trying to really bring the power to him, but Kofi was ducking and hitting him with the crossbodies and that kind of stuff, and Sheamus goes for his finisher way too early. Kingston gets out of that. He tries to bro kick him. Kingston ducks that and kicks him and hits the Trouble in Paradise for the win.
So then we get to our next draft pick, which is Randy Orton to SmackDown.
That should have been the red flag that he was not going to fucking go to, that John Cena wasn't going to go to SmackDown. They weren't going to put both guys there.
This kind of baffles me. Oh, sorry. I'm
sorry.
Okay. It kind of baffles me that they're kind of moving Randy Orton to SmackDown, because I'm still one of these hopeless optimists that Christian's going to get pushed to main event status, which might still happen. I still think it's going to happen. But with Randy Orton on SmackDown, what is he going to do there? I mean, unless they turn him heel, which would make sense.
Well,
I don't really see what they can do with him.
They needed a top flight. I love Christian to death, but as been pointed out time and time again, Vince McMahon doesn't love Christian to death. He doesn't think he can be that guy for him. Despite all evidence to the contrary, despite the fact that he sold merchandise in the past, despite the fact that he's gone to other companies and had a relatively good win. Despite it all, Vince is just like, I don't like this guy. So he's never going to be kind of at that level. He might win the championship, but I think Vince, in his head, is going, well, if he wins the championship, we got to have someone else to back this guy up.
Well, with him winning the championship, it might be Vince saying, all right, you keep saying, everyone keeps telling me that you can do it. All right, let's see if you can do it. This might be his chance. This could be Vince saying, prove to me you can handle this. So that maybe I'm just being too optimistic, but that's what I like to think. But really, again, the other thing is that SmackDown doesn't really have any monster heels now without Alberto Del Rio. Oh, by the way, spoilers. And so I don't really know who they're going to push to monster heel status. I mean, who? Mark Henry? Again, spoilers.
Well, We'll get to Mark Henry.
Oh, we'll get to Mark Henry.
Now we have to get to JR versus Michael Cole, which...
This match sucks. End of discussion. Moving on.
Yeah, all it was that Swagger is trying to speak to Cole, and Lawler and King are trying to get Cole in the ring so they could kick his ass, and eventually that's enough for Swagger, so he beats up JR for the DQ. JR did get some offense. Like I think there was like something like a tackle to punching, whatever. After the match, they keep brawling, and eventually it seems that JR busted Cole's tooth because he
did.
Yeah, he started bleeding.
Also got him in the eye.
But eventually, Swagger after the match gets the upper hand on JR. He takes off his belt, hands it to Cole, and Cole starts whipping him, leading to the Raw GM making their match on Sunday a country whipping match.
I am not looking forward.
What does that mean?
Each team gets a strap, and you have to win by submission.
It's gonna be
that's what Jack Capella said.
Indian strap match, brother.
Yeah, blow my mind if Hulk Hogan.
I am not looking forward to this feud continue. I don't think this feud will ever end. Vince likes Michael Cole for reasons beyond me. And someone brought this up yesterday. I think, was it you, Christopher Says, that asked me if Michael Cole was just a manager, would I like him more?
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah. If Michael Cole was just a manager, yeah, then I could deal. Because he's just a manager. If he was just a heel commentator, I could deal. If he was just a neutral commentator, I could deal. But the fact that they make him all three at once and he monopolizes so much fucking TV time...
On both shows.
On both shows. It fries my fucking brain. I don't get it anymore.
Well, that's why I watch NXT and Tough Enough and Superstars.
Well,
in fact, that's actually an amazing point you bring up. Michael Cole is getting more screen time than your world champion right now.
Yeah.
He gets more screen time than The Miz. Michael Cole.
That is sad. I didn't think... Wow, Backlash.
Right.
You have just depressed me.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
In an effect to get as far away from that discussion as we can, even though we're going to have to get back to it when we do SmackDown, I want to put over this promo with Scott Stanford interviewing The Miz, because Alex Riley walks in, snatches away Scott Stanford's microphone, and tries to switch the W box, and it takes a little while for him to do that. Like, to upside down and turn it into an M. Like, it's really funny, the genuine box.
I really hope he was doing that on purpose. Like...
one thing I gotta add, though, fucking microphones. How do they work?
Knowing A-Rai, probably not.
Oh, you just gotta wonder how this guy's gonna survive on his own. By the way, spoilers.
Damn it, Backlash! Can you see into the future?
Yes, I can.
Or is this 6 days late?
Hey, be quiet.
And the next match we have, arbitrarily so, I suppose to showcase Dolph Ziggler, is now Randy Orton versus Ziggler. Arbitrary, short match, kind of like the Kofi Sheamus one, but actually less entertaining than that. And considering I didn't like the first one. Basically...
I can't tell Randy Orton and fucking Dolph Ziggler apart anymore. I'm sorry.
Why did he cut his hair?
He was forced to.
Probably.
It wasn't his choice.
I mean, I wonder...
He said on Twitter that it felt like he was Bender in Futurama when he got his antenna chopped off.
God damn. And the real thing is, he has such a stern look on his face, like there's no attitude coming out of him. And
pissed off, that's why.
Yeah, you wonder if that's legit or that's supposed to be part of his character. I don't know.
This is why I never like it when fucking young guys go to Raw. Because there's something about being on Raw that if you're a guy that did well on SmackDown and you're young, anything that was unique or different about you weirdly just fucking disappears into the ether like it was never there before.
Yeah, well, the match was basically Ziggler trying to clothesline him, trying to drop kick him, but Orton comes back and does his power slam. He does his angle slam, by the way. Just that Kurt Angle enough
slam.
Yeah,
Olympic slam.
And Orton tries to do the RKO, but Vicky Guerrero distracts him. Ziggler rolls him up for the 2 count, and Orton gets the RKO anyway.
Of course. Randy buries everyone.
No, Randy is actually, and if you don't piss Randy off, he'll put you over. Just don't piss him off.
Who is Randy over?
Just, your name shouldn't be Ken Anderson. That's the only thing that you need.
He put over fucking Kofi pretty big until Kofi fucked up.
Well, yeah, that was like a year ago.
But that was a really ridiculous botch, though, and he overreacted, but nonetheless.
Yeah.
Anyways, we go to the draft ticker next, but CM Punk comes out to interrupt, and I will never complain about CM Punk interrupting anything. Also,
Exactly.
Punk, I know you're thinking about leaving WWE. Please don't.
Spoilers.
We need you.
Yeah, speaking of top heels, we really do need him, and I kind of wish he had gone back to SmackDown.
The roster is already heel heavy. It's very heel heavy.
On which show?
Oh, on Raw.
Both of them, actually. I mean, Raw only has a +2 heel count, while SmackDown is extremely, I think it might be +5.
Well, SmackDown doesn't have
just
any
turned
good heels.
R-Truth and Mark Henry.
SmackDown doesn't have any, like, really over heels, though.
Right, they only have one over face, though. I mean, Christian's over, but they don't care about Christian.
So,
anyways, they just go on to talk about their match at Extreme Rules. Let me see here. Orton basically says the one thing he's not going to miss about being on Raw is listening to Punk ramble on and on endlessly.
Ramble.
Irony.
But anyways, we cut to commercial, and we come back, and we get the next 2 draft picks for SmackDown. It is Mark Henry and Sin Cara.
Sin Cara. We're not going to sing that song tonight.
Yeah, we don't need to do that.
That will not be a recurring gag, if it was even.
But hey, we come right back.
He does. Wait, but he does have a mask, and he does do a plancha.
Wasn't funny the first.
I fucked up my own joke. Let's move on.
And we go right to another match. There is a lot of wrestling on the show tonight. It is Wade Barrett versus Rey Mysterio. And, again, it's another short match, but it was all right for what we could expect out of these two.
Yeah. Basically, Barrett takes the offense to him, and Ray keeps countering. Barrett gets in his black hole slam again, and eventually, after Barrett puts a submission on him, he basically kicks out of it, hits a crossbody, and
619.
Yeah.
Booyaka, booyaka.
And the next person drafted is Big Show to Raw. And does anyone really care?
No.
No, but Big Show...
It doesn't even mean anything because Big Show can be on both shows anyways because he's tag team champion.
Well, that's only a temporary thing. But Big Show being on Raw means that Great Khali has to go to SmackDown.
Spoilers.
Well, no, I mean, but it's kind of common sense. They only have one giant per show.
Speaking of people going to Raw, the next person who's doing that is Del Rio. Del Rio, which prompts another backstage segment between him, Ricardo Rodriguez, and Brodus Clay, where Del Rio looks quite worried, and they're discussing in Spanish. Brodus Clay tries to interject, saying, "What about me? What am I going to do? I'm still on SmackDown." And Alberto Del Rio looks at him, then just goes back to Rodriguez.
He throws the shirt and walks away.
Del Rio is not amused.
Also, there were some pretty good GIFs from this episode of Raw that were made.
Among them?
Well, there was obviously everyone doing the entire SmackDown roster doing the boom clap once they found that Kofi was drafted to Raw.
Oh, yeah.
There was, including Cena, there was also when Mark Henry tried to enter the ring in the main event, Punk was trying to bat him away with his foot.
And what about Zack Ryder fist pumping?
Yes, there's that one too. And then, but the thing is, nobody realizes. You only realize this once you watch it like consecutively with the animated GIF. Is that you see Otunga pops up like halfway through the GIF. He's like right behind Randy Orton, and he just pops up like halfway through it.
But we're back from commercial, and Michael Cole comes back to the commentary table with some makeup on. It's not really good for me to acknowledge that he has a black eye because that there wasn't any emphasis. It's good enough that he got his lip busted open. That enough was proven and put over.
But the next segment is Teddy Long apparently is now booking matches on Raw because he booked a 6-man tag. It's Team Raw, CM Punk, Alberto Del Rio, and The Miz versus Team SmackDown, Christian, Mark Henry, and John Cena.
I would say this is fine. This is fine because Teddy Long, this is the draft show. This affects both shows. Say if this is just like, if this is a week from now and Teddy Long's coming out, no, not okay.
Well, Teddy Long is always awesome, so I'll take it. It's better than the fucking Raw GM. I have an email. Whatever.
Well, at least it's not the Gladys voice. Edge, you've got the crazy eyes.
All right.
But
no, go ahead.
This match is. I'd say Christian was the participant who got the most time. He was taking on The Miz originally, then he wrestles Punk, and then he wrestles Del Rio. That got a lot of work in. Definitely. Again,
I'm saying they want to give him a chance. And I'd also like to think that Edge might have put some pull in for him before ending his tenure with WWE and say, it's like, I know you guys aren't really big fans of him, but give the kid a chance. He's my best friend. We've been working together for however many years. I know he can do this. So that's why I think Christian's really going to start going over.
And something I'd very much like to see anyway. One of the bigger incidents towards the match is after Christian hits Del Rio with a DDT from the top rope. Miz and Cena are tagged in at the same time, and before Cena knows it, Mark Henry lays him out, hits him with a clothesline.
Oh my God, Mark Henry heel turn in, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cared.
Yeah, we get to see on SmackDown his huge revamp of character, a la R-Truth.
Mark Henry makes a much better heel than he does a face, but only by about what's fuck all equal?
0.
Pass. By the way, why are all the black guys turning heel?
You're not supposed to know that.
Kofi.
This might support the theory that Vince Russo might be booking for them again.
Yeah. All we need is all we need is a group of Mexicans that aren't actually Mexican, and we'll know for sure.
Well, actually, Vince Russo's a ghostwriter for Raw. It'll be the ultimate Russo swerve.
You know, your sarcasm tone is quite misleading.
Yeah, I was very upset for a second there.
Yeah, you sound more facetious than sarcastic, if anything.
Well, the best thing is to make people actually believe. That's where the true satisfaction comes from.
Well, for now, we still got Kofi Kingston, so...
But yeah, the end of the match basically happened in terms of Henry laid Cena out, and then Henry picks up Christian and throws him on the steel steps. Amid all this confusion, Cena's quite in shock, and Miz takes him in the skull-crushing finale, and the heels get the win. And they have quite a good celebration pose. It's very nice to see it.
But then we have one last draft pick for the night, and it is the last person to be drafted to Raw for the night, and it is John Cena. Did I call it? Did we all not fucking call it? And this, of course, activates his no-selling powers as he jumps up and beats the crap out of all three of them.
And no-sells a skull-crushing finale, which he received not 30 seconds ago.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess we could see that his no-sell powers come from being in the home, from being at home, having a home team advantage.
It's twice as powerful than his merch powers.
Who the hell knows? I pulled that out of my ass. I can't explain it any more than you can.
We need some Steiner math up in here to explain it.
Oh, God. I don't think we... you have to take a class in that.
Yeah, I couldn't do that any better than Steiner. He's a class of his own.
He's such a professional.
God damn it, why did they do this? Why even tease it? There was no point to it whatsoever. It was so dumb that it's hard to get mad about it. It's just more confusing. Like, the fuck would you even do that? It doesn't make any fucking sense. Just stop.
Yeah, please. Either way, in summation, I thought that this was it was an alright Raw, average to mediocre. It was prolific on the wrestling, though the stuff that they had didn't have that much quality. The last match, and I'm kind of agreeing with Backlash now. Kofi versus Sheamus, they were the best.
Yeah,
Right.
I'd agree. This was a pretty average-ish kind of Monday Night Raw. It was just a weird draft show, because usually in years past with the draft, they've had like 3-hour Raw, and the matches have still been short and shit, but not like this. It was just kind of meh. Yeah, that was okay. It was good, not great. Just kind of there. Nothing really changed. You're still gonna have the pay-per-view, but hopefully it'll bounce back next week.
I'm going to give Raw 1 gold star this week for actually managing to feature quite a few wrestling shows, but I have to remove that gold star immediately for just this stupid double draft of Cena.
They wasted 2 picks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There was no point to it other than just to add false tension for a couple hours.
Well, tension for what? The idea that Cena goes to SmackDown is not like a setup for anything. It's an end. So there was really no, just on that note, there is no reason to do it twice.
Well, it's tension that they might have actually done something different with Cena for a change. Like, give someone else a chance to shine on Raw for a while. Let him have a World Heavyweight title reign.
Someone else shine? Come on.
Surely you can.
Cena is the only money-making entity in WWE right now. Or at least that's what they believe.
Alright, so we're going to go over who got drafted to what show. It's not in order, so excuse me if it sounds a little bit confusing, but we all know, like we said, Rey Mysterio was drafted to Raw, Randy Orton got drafted to SmackDown, Mark Henry as well as Sin Cara. Big Show was put on Raw, Alberto Del Rio went to Raw, and we know about the stupid double swerve. As for the supplemental draft, Daniel Bryan is going to SmackDown, which I am quite happy about.
He'll be used a lot better on SmackDown.
And yeah, what I mentioned about the introduction was that Daniel Bryan was never, no footage of him was ever in the Raw introduction. He shows up twice in the new SmackDown one.
Yeah,
good.
Very, very excited about that. Jack Swagger ends up on Monday Night Raw. Does anyone care?
No, because he's been there for the last 2 months helping Cole out after he had nothing going on SmackDown. Great colleague to SmackDown, but of course this had to happen because they can't have 2 giants on the show because Big Show was drafted to Raw.
The
Jim, surprisingly, still have a job. Good luck.
Oh, as opposed to Daniel Bryan as opposed to Daniel Bryan going to SmackDown, the Usos going to SmackDown is not a good thing for them.
Hey,
I expect them to be the
Uso. Ooh.
No.
I know both Usos go. But that's in the future. We're not to that Uso yet.
Shush. We're going to pair the Usos together. They don't deserve 2 separate draft picks.
Fine. Then
Okay, then Kelly ends up going to Monday Night Raw. Does anyone care about that?
No, because the Divas division, the title, any Diva can be in any show, because the belts are combined. Doesn't matter. Drafting a Diva is a waste of a draft pick. JTG, a.k.a. Jobs to Guys, is on Raw now.
What?
Yeah,
no one cares.
Jobs to Guys, dude. He's got to do some jobs. Then we move Alicia Fox to SmackDown. Yeah.
Gee, I wonder why they're moving her to the show that's taped.
Well, it's not like her, because they want to get her away from Melina.
Well, and also they want to. Well, yeah, Backlash is right. They want to cut out any footage that she might have of killing people. Oh wait,
yeah. Yeah. SmackDown also gets William Regal and Yoshitatsu. Good for Regal.
Tatsu, yeah, I don't think anything better is going to happen for him.
Tatsu, good luck.
He's still gonna be on fucking
NXT.
NXT.
He's got the apparently what they're trying to do is they're trying to have a DiBiase Tatsu feud over Maurice, but the thing is that kind of ended on NXT as Maurice had to either choose Ted DiBiase or her hosting role on NXT, and she chose her hosting role, and so DiBiase hasn't been there for like 2 weeks now. He's plotting his revenge, clearly.
Anyway, Drew McIntyre is going to Raw, which
McIntyre.
I could see him feuding with Kofi again, like if Kofi brings the U.S. title. It's an accolade that he hasn't achieved yet.
Natalya goes to SmackDown, which I'm actually happy about because they'll let her wrestle.
She was on Superstars this last week, and she wrestled with Gail Kim. It was a great match.
Be sure
Kurt Hawkins is off to Raw.
You know what?
Good luck in your future endeavors, pal.
I'm not trying to reform the tag team. I mean, there have been no rumors about that, but Zack Ryder is quote-unquote officially on Raw, even though he's really like a more of a major player on Superstars.
That's not even a major player on Superstars, okay? No one is a major player on Superstars except for Chris Masters.
No, see, that's the joke.
No, I know the joke. My point is, yes, Superstars technically isn't a brand, but yes, it some guys only get to get the spotlight on Superstars. But there's only been 2 real guys in the past 3 months that have gotten spotlight on Superstars, and that is Trent Beretta, Kurt Hawkins, Chris Masters, and Tyler Rex. And yes, I know I said 2, I meant 4. But yeah, Zack Ryder occasionally gets a match. If you're down with Zack and Primo.
Anyways, speaking of Chris Masters, he's off to Raw because they want to push the fuck out of this guy, apparently.
Good luck.
Yeah, he's Randy Orton's friend. No future endeavors for Chris Masters.
I don't think so.
He's Randy Orton's friend. Randy is the only reason Chris Masters got his job back.
Well then.
Yeah. Look, the other Uso got drafted at number 22. And
now we got
Kofi was drafted Raw. Jeez, I didn't know Kofi's last name was such a mouthful.
Kofi Sarkodie Mensah.
And then,
but yeah, U.S. title probably.
Then Theodore DiBiase Jr. goes to SmackDown.
Yeah, that's what Ted is short for. Then Tyson Kidd is off to SmackDown as well, as is Tamina. And then Tyler Rex is off to Raw to probably to continue his feud with Masters. Then, oh no, Alex Riley is off to SmackDown. What will we ever do? And then Beth Phoenix is off to Raw, probably to help, because she's dating CM Punk, and it's probably to help with trying to keep Punk on for longer time. And then finally we get Sheamus to SmackDown. But if you want to go back to Beth Phoenix, let's talk about it.
No, I don't want to go back to Beth Phoenix. Actually, I kind of want to go back to Tamina and wonder about, like, she's still with Santino, kind of, sort of. We still see segments with her, and like there have been segments where she has also like spurned the Usos in favor of him. So, I wonder why they're still keeping her and them in the same capacity.
Well, if you've noticed also, I'm guessing that the tag team of Kozlov and Santino is unofficially over or something, because Kozlov has had matches, or no, I think it's Santino had a match, but Kozlov didn't come out with him, and Kozlov is no longer kayfabe injured, that formed Apple. And so, I mean, Kozlov no longer sports the bandages. He worked an NXT match with his rookie. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with Santino at the moment. I mean, Kozlov is also still on Raw with Santino, but they haven't came out together to kind of manage them or be at ringside. Also, Tamina hasn't shown up in a long time either, so that's a very interesting situation, I guess.
Arbitrary selection.
Yeah,
but
maybe
either way,
we're gonna do something with Tamina. I don't know.
Either way, we'll move on now to SmackDown, where it starts out with a recap of all the suspenseful, tense draft picks, including John Cena. Apple Doe. And we have the new introduction. We have Booker T and Josh Matthews putting over the show, and the first person that comes out is the new biggest SmackDown star, Randy Orton.
With his sexy beard.
Yeah,
he wears that beard way better than Kurt does.
Oh my God!
You think he grew the beard just to spite Kurt Angle?
I think he's doing everything.
No offense, Kurt. It's just it's to honor you.
Hopefully, yeah, he's probably just pulling the dirt sheets so that they'll come out with something else, Kurt. I'm not too crazy about him with stubble. That's what I do.
Oh, I'm sorry. That beard looks fantastic on Randy.
Kurt Angle in a couple days is going to go on a drunken Twitter spree where he talks about how Randy Orton stole his beard.
But Randy Orton basically cuts an introductory promo saying, for those who don't know him, he is Randy Orton, and I doubt that really anyone would not know him. He's here for the first time in 5 years, and he's going to make SmackDown great, but he has unfinished business on Sunday against CM Punk. Cue interruption from Drew McIntyre.
Now it's time.
So say goodbye.
And here's my question. Were we really hoping for a Drew McIntyre-Randy Orton feud? Because either someone really miscalculated that or they're trying to make Drew look insane.
The latter.
Drew is a pretty stupid guy. I mean, he was in love with Kelly. So
before that, he was in love with Tiffany, who beat him.
Oh, that's not
I thought he still is dating. I thought he was married to Tiffany.
Really?
Yeah, they're married.
I'm pretty sure they're married. And that's why he gets a lot of backstage heat.
But either way, Drew says, it's great news. Randy Orton has moved to SmackDown. The bad news is we can't see Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. The huge draw that would be Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. he's like, I know what that look says. You want to RKO me, and he says, it's okay. I've just come here to say hello and goodbye. Kicks him, tries for the future shock, but Orton says, fuck you, RKOs him.
Yep. No one saw that coming, except everybody.
Right.
Oh, and next, a lot of you guys don't realize, maybe you probably do, but Tiffany had a miscarriage, so Drew's been going through some sadness.
Well, thank you for that downer. So anyways.
that's just telling you.
Anyways, next Orton goes back to the mic like he's going to start talking in, and then Alex Riley comes out with his incredibly generic music.
Hey, it's better than David Hart Smith's.
Gets in the ring, starts like he's going to talk, and then just instantly gets RKO'd. Okay, so that killed about 2 minutes.
Had no problem with that.
No problem with it at all. But then... He continues to talk. He continues to talk, and then... Who would come out but...
Alberto Del Rio.
Yes, thank you. Come on. I'm going to work off my cues. We're going to work off my cues.
Yes. In the blandest way possible. But anyway, I actually quite liked what Del Rio had to say. He spun it pretty well. That Orton's good at making a first impression but he makes the best lasting impressions as he's gonna at Sunday on Extreme Rules. He's gonna take the title and bring it to Raw. Thoughts?
I don't know. It was a good promo, but yeah, I don't really have anything to say other than that it was a good promo.
It was okay. It was just kind of there, you know. It was kind of weird that Randy Orton, like, kind of buried two people back to back like that, but it wasn't, like, a huge deal that he did it. It wasn't something to get upset over. It was just kind of awkward, I think.
Yeah, again, you know, we all say good promo. It was a good promo. The thing is, there's a lot to consider here. Obviously, they want to try and keep the championship belts separate and on one or the other brand, especially the main titles. But a lot of the Mexican community was very angry that Del Rio didn't win it at WrestleMania. We now know this because they wanted to have Edge with the belt when he retired. But the thing is, the Mexican community really feels that they deserve this, and they've been actually giving WWE a large attendance or a large audience viewership, more than they normally would because of stars like Del Rio and Rey and Mystico. Well, now Sin Cara. And to not give him the belt might drop that viewership.
You think Vince actually cares?
I know what Vince cares about, and that's money. And wrestling is a lot larger down in Mexico.
Either way, maybe if he did care about money, maybe he'd pay attention to his slipping ratings. And well, then again, he stopped doing guest hosts, and I'm sure that'll.
Right, the guest host was terrible.
But
outside of Snooki.
The opening segment basically ends when Del Rio and Randy Orton have a standoff from the inside and outside of the ring. Christian and they start teasing an attack. Christian comes down to make it even as Alberto Del Rio has Brodus Clay with him. But before they could really get into it, Teddy Long comes out.
Teddy.
You know, he announces the tag team match with Randy Orton and Christian versus Del Rio and Brodus Clay. Punctuates it.
Nobody wanted.
I didn't mind it at all. I don't see the problem.
I don't care about Brodus Clay that much.
I think he's fine. Like, again, they got to emphasize his soup. He has to be the next human suplex machine.
Yeah, but he won't be because they don't care. They just want to put over Randy.
But the match is announced, and they have that standoff to sort of lead into the commercial. We come back, and Kofi Kingston is making his way out, but before he can get to the ring, Sheamus attacks him, completely lays him out, hits him with a brogue kick, and he says that SmackDown belongs to him.
Laosh means warrior in Gaelic.
It does.
Did they set up a match between them in Extreme Rules?
No.
They might the Sunday of.
They might just have it unannounced. I mean, right now they only have, 4 matches? They got World Heavyweight, they've got WWE, they've got Lay Cool, they've got Randy and Punk, and that's it. No, they won't do tag teams because they just did that on Friday.
We've got the Cole match.
Oh yeah, the Cole and Lawler match. Okay, so we got 5 matches. Yeah, it's possible they could just work that as the entire card, but I'd like to see a 6th thrown in there, just as an actual title match for IC or US.
Yeah, at least feature a mid-card title.
Right.
I've been doing that very well lately.
No, they pretty much forgot about him.
But we go from there to Michael Cole coming in the ring, and I don't even want to talk about this one. This one was just calling JR fat, bulbous, saying "Suey" all the time, repeatedly, as he's been saying everything else repeatedly. And
Cole gets in the ring and acts like an annoying douchebag. Moving on!
Jack Swagger versus Sin Cara.
What? Thanks, Josh. Why did we add Josh Matthews to the show?
Sin Cara. His name is Sin Cara. I don't care what the fucking proper pronunciation is. It's Sin Cara.
Sin Cara.
But
it's a man.
It was more like the matches on Raw. Like it was sort of truncated. We got to see Sin Cara do like a sort of top rope twirling arm drag.
Which
so
was
best name I could give it. Yeah. And oh yeah, also throughout the match there was like Sin Cara's like mood lighting when he comes out remained in effect.
Yeah, that's his new
I guess
gimmick.
they're in a different place.
Lighting.
Yeah. But yeah, Swagger brings the power to him, but like he kind of ekes out. And after getting backdropped to the apron, he kicks Swagger in the head. And
Swagger really took it to him this match.
I was actually surprised Sin Cara could work with a guy that's as big as Swagger.
Well, except for the fact that he does a Hurricane Rana to Swagger, and unfortunately, in all situations with big men like these, he doesn't know how to bump out of it. It just makes it look kind of awkward.
So, like, does he have an official finisher yet? Because, I mean, we saw the Super C4 on Primo. All of the, vignettes they did on him, he was doing the head scissors into an arm bar. And I figured they didn't want to do that, like, the head scissors into an arm bar because they already had Del Rio, who's also another Mexican, doing an arm bar finisher.
Well, see, that's what I thought they were going to elevate him into a position of feuding against Del Rio, and not necessarily for the arbitrary reason that they both use an armbar finisher, but it would have been something.
I think the reason that they're not elevating it is because he can't speak English.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Yeah,
I heard from some dirt sheet that Sin Cara was trying to brag about something backstage to other guys, but in broken English, it only made him sound stupid. I can't remember what it was.
Well, either way, the match ends when Cole tries to give Swagger some brass knucks, and that Cara energizes and puts him in a
it was Cole's belt.
Oh, was it a belt?
Yeah, it was his belt. Because, it's a strap match.
Yappa pie! Wait.
God only knows why they'd try to hype it by doing it with Sin Cara, but they're trying to put over their strap skills.
Because they're heels.
Whatever.
Yeah. So Sin Cara puts him in a victory roll, and he gets the victory. And after it, like, Cole's pissed off at Swagger, says, do something, do something, do something, do something, do something. Swagger tries to run at Sin Cara. Cara pulls the ropes over and takes Swagger outside, and then he hits that very high angle crossbody.
The match was okay for what it was, but I don't know. It was I get how you say SmackDown was the better show, but I don't think it was like that much better. It was just kind of like, this wasn't as bad as the last part, at least.
SmackDown just didn't have the whole it wasn't held down by the draft having to work with both rosters or both brands. That's what really held down That's what really held on Raw this week, was the fact that it had to use both brands. And then you don't highlight half of the stars that you have on your show.
Yeah, that's true.
I understand this is like the once-a-year thing you have to do, but it was
more like a dozen times a year. Again, Vince seems to think that to make SmackDown more flashy, or to make it more credible, he puts Raw stars on him.
Right, like, I understand, like, often they'll just say, and coming to SmackDown this week, for no apparent reason, is Randy Orton. Well, I mean, they did that one time. They also did Cena, like, 3 or 4 times. And, I mean, they do it occasionally, but I think it's just because they want to increase the ratings for SmackDown, which doesn't do... I think it does, like, maybe 500,000 people better than TNA does. Like, maybe 2 million people.
It's still the highest rated show on Sci-Fi.
Well, that just shows that nobody
that's
watches
a function of Sci-Fi, not the WWE.
30
well, what do you
weeks
expect
in a
from
row,
the Sci-Fi Network?
30 weeks in a row.
But yes, after the latest Karma promo again, we moved to a match for the tag team champions, Heath Slater and Justin Gabriel versus Big Show and Kane. This was my favorite. I enjoyed the way that Slater and Gabriel put themselves over in the ring. They were really able to work well with Kane and Show.
Show Kane?
Yep.
I'll give you that. And I really hope they keep these guys as a tag team for a while. Just to maybe start the tag team division back up again, because the thing is kind of stopped dead.
Personally, I think that they're sort of hinting that if anyone's going to break away from the core, it's going to be Slater and Gabriel, just to become their own just to become a tag team, because Zeke was doling out the reprimanding.
He's the personification of domination.
Yeah. But either way, Heath Slater performed a couple of DDTs on Big Show. Gabriel is trying to work around him with all his kicks, bring a very speedy offense. He put a sleeper hold on Big Show. He hit him with a DDT also, and basically it turned around when Kane came in and made up for all the damage done to Show with clotheslines, top rope strikes, his sidewalk slam that he usually hits, and it ends when Slater kind of goes out of his choke slam, but Big Show and Kane are eventually in the ring, and they give him both the choke slam for the title retention.
What I like about Kane is that he's a big guy, but he still works off the top rope. You don't see that often. I mean, you're never going to see Big Show going off the top rope anymore after the whole Lesnar incident where they exploded the ring.
He does it quite smoothly too. It's natural for him.
Right. He exactly Glenn Jacobs knows how to move in the top ropes.
I mean, he's definitely in much better shape than he was as Yankum and Jake.
Yes, Yankum.
And early Kane for that.
Yankum. But as far as Slater and Slabriel, as they'll become to know, Slabriel. I really only like Justin Gabriel. Just because I do not like Heath Slater.
Never thought I would say this, but I am warming up to Slater as a competent in-ring worker. I think he should shut his fucking mouth because he sounds like a herp derp, but I agree. Gabriel.
The thing is, the one-man rock band, well, first off, he's ugly as hell. And he's not ugly in the way that you want to see him.
Mean?
He's fair. He's fair-skinned. He's a ginger. He's a ginger, but he's
putting around
his hair is so straight. He takes a hair straightener to it, and it flows he brushes it 1,000 times on each side, and he's just so annoying. His pointing and his head shaking and his tongue out of his mouth just flailing everywhere. God, why don't you just stop?
Believe me, I agree.
Every single time he's on TV, he's moving like an epileptic.
Justin Gabriel, monumentally better performer. Monumentally.
Neither of them can talk. I mean, Justin Gabriel, he's a nicer to listen to.
Gabriel be a believable, kind of face that women swoon over.
Right. He's dating Kelly.
Based on his sort of soft spokenness. When he did that promo about flowers on NXT, he should have been a
There's Twitter pictures of him holding a sign that says, "I'm so pretty." Okay? And he's dating Kelly. He's...
Really?
No. Yes, he is.
Wow.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good for himself. But the thing is, I understand why they put him in a tag team, but fucking Slater's holding him down, man. Slater's holding him down.
I disagree. I think they actually work really well together. It might just be that I really don't have a problem with Heath
nobody
Slater,
likes Slater.
I just don't have a problem with Heath Slater. I mean, what you're saying about him, it seems to be kind of minor. Yeah, he's not really much to look at, and he's not very good on the mic, but just the rest of him doesn't really bother me all that much.
Yeah, I don't get
they go really well together.
I don't get the enormous amounts of hate there is for him. Legitimate.
That's the hate from it. We don't like looking at that. I don't like looking at that.
Well, that's not a really good reason to like him.
Yeah, why is that not a good reason? There's been worse reasons.
Lots of wrestlers aren't the best to look at, but they were fucking down.
It's not about... It's how annoying he is.
I guess. I don't find him particularly, like, holy shit, he's so annoying. I want to fucking...
Every time he's on TV, I wish I could punch him. And...
Alright, this could just, like, go in a circle. Either way, we go to an arbitrary backstage segment with Kali and Ranjan Singh.
And Rey Mysterio.
Mysterio.
I will miss you on SmackDown.
And we get, like, someone walking up to Kali.
It's a Bollywood star.
Is it really?
A wrestler. Yeah.
Actually, no. It's someone they actually have in development.
Oh, is it Jinder Mahal?
Yeah, it's Jinder Mahal.
Okay.
I don't know if he's an FCW, but he is in development.
Reported as he was a Bollywood star, and nobody knew who he was. And nobody at the SmackDown taping knew who the hell he was. Like, I think what they tried to act was like he was a Bollywood star. I think maybe they tried to act like that because on the broadcast, they were like, "Wow, these people are coming to Rock's birthday party. Wow, who could be there?"
But yeah, arbitrary. I got nothing else to say about that promo. It's basically like what they were doing when Tarver was randomly appearing in key segments.
Yeah.
Which, god damn it, why isn't he back? I want him in his mask with he on it back. But Rey Mysterio comes out after the commercial and says, like, it's very hard to say goodbye to SmackDown. He's entered into everyone's homes and entertained them, which his choice of words saying he's entered into people's homes, like, yeah, I don't know. If any wrestler were to say that would have creeped me out.
Well, Rey Mysterio, he steals cars. He stole CM Punk's car twice.
What?
It's from NXT commentary, or no, it's from NXT commentary, or whenever CM Punk was doing commentary, there's one point where I think they're doing like a recap or something like that, and Punk's on commentary. He's like, "It's Rey Mysterio. He steals cars. That's what he does. He stole mine twice."
Okay. God damn CM Punk's man on commentary.
Punk, please don't leave us.
Because that's when he was still feuding with Alberto Del Rio.
I gotcha.
And he came out in Del Rio's car.
Oh yes. But either way, he says that he puts over his match with Cody on Sunday, and whether he's on Raw or SmackDown, everyone will always be in 619.
Yeah, except for the fact that Ray's only been on SmackDown for a year. He was drafted last year.
And after that, Mark Henry makes his way. He goes to the ring and says that it's unfortunate that that Henry's debut has to be Mysterio's farewell as they go into a match.
Somebody's gonna get their ass kicked. Somebody's gonna get their butt whipped.
So this match, do we really even have to talk about it?
It's basically, from what I can understand, from what I remember, a longer version of the match between Kingston and Sheamus with Henry trying to bring the power to him and Mysterio like ducking around him, kicking him, like giving him
but then
that kind of thing.
Disfigured Cody Rhodes comes out.
Yeah, see, and to put over the fact that their match is a false count anywhere, he drags him out past the barricade. They brawl a little on the steps, like Cody headbutts him with the mask. Always a good image. And they bring him back out. Henry, I actually kind of forgot whether or not Henry had any involvement in this, but probably mild.
After that, Dashing or Disfigured throws him into the ring, and Booker's like, "Oh no, he's feeding him to the dogs!" And then then Henry gives him the world's strongest slam.
Yes, that's what it was. Oh yeah, by the way, Mark Henry's heel turn, the way he's become effectively a heel is that when he comes down to the ring, he has a Cheshire Cat grin, which, alright.
And then he does the finger wag.
Oh, does he?
He doesn't do a finger wag, but there's a GIF online where he's just smiling and he wags his finger, which reminded me of it.
Well, actually, I hope that getting back to Kali for just a sec. I hope that now that he's on SmackDown, we could get more cuts to audience members holding their heads like.
the little African American child. The thing is, like, that was too perfect. Like, the cameraman zooms in over Kali's shoulder and spots this kid, like, freaking out.
Intuitive cameraman at that point. But yeah, we didn't mention that the match basically ended with a senton and a 619. But I guess you probably have expected that.
Actually,
anyway.
no, it ended with a DQ.
Ooh.
Yeah, match went to DQ as they brawled, and then after Henry leaves, Cody puts the bag on Ray's head again.
Yes.
Anyways,
did I mention I hate Heath Slater?
We go to commercial.
A little.
And it's time for more of Laycool.
I hate you, Heath Slater. I hate you.
I will say that. But yeah, this match, Michelle McCool versus Layla, did not happen on SmackDown because they were one of those situations where they're too pissed at each other to have a fair match. They just end up
looking to hurt each other. They ain't worried about winning no match.
Thank you, Booker.
Anytime. He gonna do
and
it.
Anyway, without Teddy Long, they basically set up their own match, and it came off kind of awkward.
Hey, when you're boning Undertaker, you can do whatever the hell you want.
Well, either way, Michelle McCool accepts like Layla's challenge for a match at Extreme Rules, except on one condition, that it is a loser leaves
WWE
match.
That was a good one.
That was perfect.
But yeah, essentially it was supposed to be loser leaves SmackDown, but rumors, spoilers, amid that the stuff of basically Michelle McCool leaving. She was usually going to be drafted to Raw to be with Undertaker, but now she's just not working to be with Taker. She wants kids. She wants to settle down, and hopefully that'll give Layla a more prominent position. But either way, the line was at the taping. The line was loser leaves SmackDown, but they really poorly dubbed that in.
Actually, it was just loser leaves. I know a guy who was at the taping. I explained about it. Apparently, one of the broadcasts that went out, they did say loser leave SmackDown, but it was fixed later on different broadcasts to WWE.
And on the subject of Michelle McCool wanting kids, what is she going to do in about 5 years when The Undertaker wants to trade up again?
Child support. She's gonna go after nice Mark Callis. I don't know.
Modest Mark Callis.
Yeah, there we go.
Mark Modest. Anyway, we move on from there past the commercial break to a segment with Christian, a promo that I quite enjoyed.
It's Christian.
Speaking about Del Rio's destiny and saying 6 months ago Christian's own destiny was sort of interrupted when he had his pectoral muscle torn by Del Rio, and he contemplated to himself, gee, is this it? Like, could my career be over? And he's even more, the thought of it is even more greater reinforced as he sees his friend Edge retire because of an injury. So beforehand, like, he always said to myself, like, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve the top position. I'm not ready for it. It's not my thing. But Edge leaving, he wants to take the reins, and it's finally his opportunity for the heavyweight championship.
Ooh.
But, yeah. Do you think this will lead to a victory? Who knows?
Find out at Extreme Rules.
I would honestly be happy about either result. I would love it if Christian got it, but I wouldn't care if Del Rio got the title.
Yeah.
Again, it just makes no sense for him to win it, though. Why are they going to have both major titles on Raw?
It's like my prediction is they'll have Del Rio win it at the pay-per-view, and then somehow Christian will win it in some fluky way on Raw and take it back. For some reason, I don't think they want Christian to have a clean victory. It'll be like that. It'll be like what happened with Punk, where Punk cashed in the Money in the Bank and all of his title defenses were kind of dubious in how they were ended and that kind of thing. I think that's kind of where they're going. Maybe it's just because I have no faith, but yeah.
Maybe Edge is probably just going to interfere in the ladder match.
I mean, that can happen. There's a distinct possibility that could happen, but you never know.
Yeah, we transitioned from there to the last match of the night: Del Rio and Clay versus Christian and Randy Orton, and another decent showcase. The whole psychology behind this one was that Del Rio was keeping away from the action, like good strategy for a heel, not bad at all. He was sending Clay in to do all his dirty work, and that pretty much cost them the victory. Clay got a lot of work in, always nice to see him do a T-bone suplex, but nonetheless gets outsmarted.
Yeah,
this was a really good match, really good way to end the show, but the one thing I got to kind of bitch about was the finish, because the finish comes when Orton is about to punt Del Rio, but Clay stops him, and Del Rio gets a tag into Brodus Clay, instantly gets RKO'd, gets the pin 1, 2, 3. The decision does not involve either of the guys involved in the main event. Bad Extreme Rules.
Well, of course not.
Well, I
make him look weak.
I guess that's the point. Like, Christian worked very hard, in this match, and they're trying to put him over as a face that he works hard for this shit. Del Rio was not really involved at all. Like, he's trying to save his team, and I guess they're putting him over as a heel coward. But either way, the surprise RKO on Clay, like I said, I thought it was more or less logical because he had been participating in the match almost throughout the entire thing. Like he was worn off enough to take it.
Interesting.
So, final thoughts on SmackDown, anyone?
Yeah. It's all right.
Yeah, and thought it was pretty impressive. Better matches, particularly, and I enjoyed the opening segment with Randy Orton basically just smacking bitches in the form of RKOs. Either way, we'll take this time, I guess, to take a quick look at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Okay. The first match is Layla versus Michelle McCool, which
pretty much know that Layla's going to win.
Yeah, Layla's pretty much going over in that one. Then the other match no one cares about, JR and Cole versus Swagger. JR and King versus Cole and Swagger.
I'm picking Michael Cole and Swagger.
The only redeeming factor for this will be if it's short. Oh, no, the two. If it's short and if it ends the fucking feud. Don't think either will happen.
I'm predicting that King and JR win.
We're going to see Cole get his ass beat, but he's going to win by some stupid, bizarre consequence.
Raw GM DQ.
We got Cody Rhodes versus Rey Mysterio, which no problem with. We'll probably be entertained by that match. And like I said this in the thread for the predictions, hopefully Rey puts over Cody as much as he did in the last pay-per-view.
My guess is that Rey's winning, though.
True.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, so Rey will go over, and that's cool. That's fine.
Right, Rey cannot disappoint the children.
I'll be curious to see how they utilize the Falls Count Anywhere format, but either way, the next match is Orton versus CM Punk in a last man standing match.
Pretty sure that Orton's going to win this one, even though I want Punk to win it.
As do I, yes.
And since it's no DQ, I'm guessing that the new Nexus, for some reason, is not banned from ringside.
I mean, I wonder. I haven't seen Orton in...
Hopefully we'll see the return of duct tape. Are you serious?
You never know.
Stoop that low!
CM Punk, I don't know how you could stoop that low. Duct tape? Are you serious? But pretty much like Batista, except with all emotion drained.
Heelista was the best.
Yeah.
But I think Orton's gonna go over. I don't see Punk getting the win. I would like him for him to win, but I don't think he'll win.
It's the Orton Tron 5000. You're not going over.
Omega Orton.
The next match, which I think is going to be the best, like if they get 15 minutes, Christian versus Del Rio, match of the night, ladder match.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about singles ladder matches, though. They always kind of strike me odd nowadays, now that we've had, like, Money in the Bank and TLC matches.
And, well,
I know, like, it's like a perfectly fine thing to do. I guess I just expect so much more or something, I don't know.
Sheamus Morrison. That's the only thing I'd put, Sheamus and Morrison TLC. Match with, like, just, like, effortful, story to it, and, great execution, good spots.
Right. Yeah.
But,
well, then that brings us to the WWE title. Or do you
I didn't say who I thought was going to win. Or...
geez, I don't know. I want to say Christian. Christian's the only one that makes sense, but I guess you never know.
I still think Del Rio's going to go over first, and then he'll drop the belt to Christian on the non-pay-per-view show. I don't see them giving him the rub on...
See, I think it would be the other way around. But actually, like, if it was that scenario, I think it would be the other way around, where Christian wins it and then drops it.
But the thing is, Del Rio's going to be in Raw.
But the other thing I think could happen is Del Rio wins it, and then Randy Orton somehow pops back over to Raw and wins it, and Randy Orton...
Give me that belt.
Yeah. I just think Christian winning clean for some reason.
Steals the belt like Eric Young on TNA.
Maybe. Feeds beans to horses. Oh wait, no, horses in WWE are probably the sore subject since WrestleMania. But but either way, that's a particular scenario. But as it is now, it's a toss up for me. I don't know who's going to go over. Like I
could not say.
Good argument for both.
Right.
Like Miz, John Cena, and John Morrison. Cage match. I think this will be an entertaining one. It'll be like we'll get
high spots from Morrison.
Yeah, there'll definitely be two different types of wrestling in there. I don't think Morrison has a fucking snowball chance in hell of winning the title, but
here's how I see it going down. I see Morrison about to win it, and then like R-Truth comes down, and they do that stupid spot where he swings a chair at him, even though he can just jump at him, and Morrison ends up going back into the cage somehow, and Miz gets the win. That's what I see.
I can see that.
Yeah, a lot of people actually think that Cena's going to win. I agree with you guys. I hope
not, because they've already booked Rock versus Cena for the WWE title at WrestleMania. If he wins it at Extreme Rules, he's the champion for the whole year.
From what I've heard, they want to give him the title at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, they booked Del Rio and Cena at SummerSlam for the WWE title.
Wasn't there rumors of unification to that effect also?
No, I haven't heard that.
Okay, well,
they've been unification rumors since they started unifying the tag belts and the Divas belts, but and it was supposed to be a slow transition, but they haven't unified anything since. And those two belts had like a 3-month separation in unification, I believe it was.
Well, then again, the whole unification of the tag belts and the Divas belt were because they don't really care about that division. Why highlight them with two different accolades?
Right. Plus, how once you unify a belt, specifically the tag belts, how are you going to de-unify them?
You just reintroduce them as new belts. That's what they did before.
I guess you'd have to have the champions drop the belts.
Either way, I think it's going to be a fairly entertaining pay-per-view. I think it has 3 decent matches going for it. Rhodes and Mysterio, Alberto Del Rio, and Christian, and the main event. I mean, I'm a little bit suspicious about Orton and Punk, but they had a pretty decent match at WrestleMania. So
the sad thing is this pay-per-view is going to get zero attention because of the UFC pay-per-view event, and it's the WrestleMania backlash. Well, basically, it's just not as interesting to people, and plus nobody wants to spend $55 on a pay-per-view that this isn't that bad of a card either. That's the sad thing. It just has two blemishes on it, and that's Cole and the whole Lay Cool thing. And the Lay Cool thing wouldn't be so bad if we didn't know the result, I guess.
Honestly, I'm curious to see what the two could do together. If they give them, I'm not gonna say 10 minutes because that's just fucking pushing my luck. 5 minutes. 5 to 7 minutes
for Lay Cool or Cole and Cole, my prediction. Cole's gonna get 20 minutes.
20, you said?
20. Yes.
20.
20.
And most of it will be padding.
Yes, exactly.
They gave him 14 minutes at WrestleMania, and this is a fairly minor pay-per-view compared to it, though it's the Backlash. I guess I'm just telling myself that they're not going to do it. I don't want them to fucking give him 20. Put a mid-card title match there, please. Please.
We got 5 matches on the card.
But man.
And they're probably not going to add they're not going to add the only one they could add is an IC belt. That's the only one that makes sense because he just had a U.S. title belt defense.
Oh, not at all. Not at all.
I mean, I know you can. I know you can still do another title defense, but does Kofi really deserve one?
No, that wasn't a title defense, though. That was a non-title, which he won.
There was recently a title defense, though, was it the IC? It was the IC belt. Yeah, okay, sorry. It was the IC belt that Kofi was going after 2 SmackDowns ago. I meant maybe then it's the U.S. title that makes sense to defend.
I mean, but the fact is, on SmackDown, Kofi was going out for a match probably with Sheamus and probably for the title.
Kofi's getting all these title shots for mid-card titles.
The only reason why they glossed over it was because they had stuff like Randy Orton, they had stuff like Del Rio and Christian, and they obviously didn't want to establish. I think if they're going to do an ad hoc mid-card title match, then it'd be the U.S. title. But
yeah, that would be the one that they'd have to do. That would be the obvious choice. Actually,
either way, in closing, we'll do our usual segment. Desmond Wolfe wasn't working out
I don't think Zack Ryder's going to work out either. So, what gets more screen time than Jay Lethal?
Oh, I'll tell you what gets more screen time than Jay Lethal. Little Jimmy.
Alex Riley trying to work a microphone gets more screen time than Jay Lethal.
Matt Stryker gets more time than Jay Lethal.
Sad.
You want to know what gets more screen time than Jay Lethal? Randy Orton's "I have a better beard than you, Kurt" beard gets more screen time than Jay Lethal.
So by extension, Kurt Angle gets more screen. Well, of course he does, but but on a WWE programming, which is quite a feat.
Yeah.
You know what gets more screen time than Jay Lethal? Randy Orton trying to put on a shirt. He did not want to put that thing on.
Fuck this. I just oiled myself all up.
He went to the point on Raw when he found out he was drafted that he held the shirt up and then he kind of held it out where he posed it kind of like a matador holds a cape, and then Randy, you have to put it on. I don't want to put it on. I don't wear shirts. I'm Randy Orton. Randy, you have to put it on. Okay, I'll put the shirt on. But Randy.
Anyway. In closing, as I said, we will see you at Extreme Rules. We will see you for a recap. This has been the Dark Match. I've been Christopher Says.
I'm the Arrow.
I'm Backlash.
And I'm No Leaf Clover. We'll see you next time, guys. Good night and good luck.
Deuces.
Don't say that! Chris Brown said that!
You know who else says it?
He made money off of it.